This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. We're broadcasting live from the COP21 here in Paris, France. We've entered the final stretch of negotiations at the UN Climate Change Summit as representatives from nearly 200 countries attempt to reach a final deal before the weekend. On Wednesday, a near-final draft was released. The text, pared down to 29 pages from a 43-page document, contains about 100 decisions still left to be made, including the role that wealthy and more advanced developing countries should play in helping vulnerable nations cope with the impacts of climate change. Civil society groups attending the summit erupted in protest over the draft, saying it will not go far enough to prevent catastrophic global warming. Activists continue to demand protections for indigenous rights and gender equality within the accord and emissions reductions to keep the increase in global temperatures to less than 1.5 degrees Celsius or 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit over pre-industrial levels. After the draft text emerged, climate activists staged the largest protest to date inside the heavily fortified Paris summit. Hundreds converged around an installation of colorful acrylic animal sculptures near the main plenary halls, where they staged a sit-in. Then they marched outside onto the main walkway inside the COP, called the Champs-Élysées, after the main boulevard here in Paris, where they surrounded a replica of the Eiffel Tower made from red bistro chairs of the same era. There they posted dozens of notes with messages to negotiators, among them, "Keep your promises and the world demands better." Participants included Bill McKibben, co-founder of 350.org, Kumi Naidoo, executive director of Greenpeace International, and Asad Raymond of Friends of the Earth. Democracy Now! Was there as Dipti Bhatnagar of Friends of the Earth International kicked off the protest.
What do we want? Climate justice! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now!
The text came out today. We gathered here and we took a look at it, and it's completely unacceptable. It's going to burn our planet. It's going to drown our Pacific Islands. So we got together here to make a noise to say this is unacceptable.
Hello, people. We need to start sitting. The action is a sit-in. Can we start sitting?
My check.
My check!
My check.
My check!
Today, our leaders failed us again.
Failed us again!
But we, the people, will not fail our people.
We are unstoppable! Another world is possible! We are unstoppable!
This week's news. Dead people in Chennai. Record floods in the UK. Record floods in Norway. Record floods on the west coast of the US. Record floods in the Maldives. We have no time to waste. We need action now. And we know who's blocking it. The biggest fossil fuel companies on earth. We know that Exxon lied. We know that because they lied, people died. We're not going to take it anymore.
We're not going to take it anymore!
Yeah, it's about climate justice. It's about justice for women. It's about justice for the whole of humanity. If we cannot commit to an atmospheric temperature that is well below 1.5 degrees, then we are not started at all.
My name is Flavia Cherry. I'm from St. Lucia, and for us in the Caribbean, this is very critical for us. It really is a matter of life and death. We have very small low-lying islands, and we are already beginning to see some very dramatic impacts from climate change. So for us as citizens of the Caribbean, this is simply life and death.
We're gonna calm this crisis down! We're gonna calm this crisis down!
We hear the voice of the great-granddaughter.
We hear the voice.
My name is Majandra, and I come from Peru.
My name is Mahandra, and I come from Peru.
We are part of the most vulnerable countries to the impacts of climate change. We are not talking about 1.5 to survive. We are talking about 1.5 to maybe have a chance at surviving, because we are already dying. We are here to demand that every single country take action. However, some countries need to take more action because they have polluted our atmosphere for 200 years, and their wealth is based upon our poverty.
Then tell me what you want, what you really want. Tell me what you need, what you really need.
We need deep emission cuts by the developed countries. We need finance. We need technology transfer. We need the developed countries to do their fair share now.
We thank our leaders. We thank them for the good speeches. But we want to assure them, we want to tell them, good speeches without action will not put food on the table of the most vulnerable. Good speeches will not stop the droughts. Good speeches without action will not stop the floods. Let them tell us what the poor people have done to merit this situation. We want climate finance. We don't want loans. Do you put fire on somebody's house and give them a loan to rebuild it? This will be injustice, and this injustice is already happening. People in Africa are losing their farms. Pastoralists are losing their animals. Did they do anything to deserve this? We're not begging for aid. We need compensation for the damages that are being caused and will continue to aggravate. Remember, if there is injustice anywhere, it is a threat to justice everywhere. That is Martin Luther King.
We are unstoppable. Another world is possible. We are unstoppable.
Will there have been such a lack of urgency if London, Paris, Washington were under the same threat? How long? Can we wait?
Mic check. Mic check. The security is here. The security is here. To send us away. To send us away.
In those halls, they are not deciding.
We are not deciding
How to tackle climate change.
how to tackle climate change.
They are deciding
They are deciding
who lives
who lives,
and who dies.
who dies.
We will not
We will not
let them
let them
decide.
My name is Jamie Hanna. I'm with 350.org, and hundreds, I don't know, it seems almost like 1,000 people are marching out of one of the main rooms of the conference center here, headed down the main pathway of COP21 to really show that civil society is mobilizing in the last 48 hours. The latest draft text came out, and there's still everything left to fight for here in Paris to make sure that we get the strong signal that we're looking for out of the talks.
My name is Carmen Capriles. I am the General Coordinator of Reacción Climática from Bolivia. In the draft that came, one of the issues that we're most worried about is that it doesn't address gender inequalities.
For women, we are the heartbeat of every household. We are the ones that worries about our daily living. We are the ones that sustain our life at home. So it doubles our workload. Where we used to find food is no longer there. Where we used to find the resources is no longer there. So it has contributed a lot of workload on women, thus making them more vulnerable. My name is Maria Nailevu. I'm from Fiji. I'm part of Diva for Equality. I'm representing women from the Pacific.
I'm Abir Bukma from Friends of the Earth Palestine. Palestine is affected by climate change, and it's clear affected by climate change, water shortage and high temperature during summer and low temperature during summer, during winter. The Israeli occupation increased the situation worse because we cannot manage our water resources.
My name is Majandra Rodriguez and I come from Lima, Peru. Peru is one of the most vulnerable countries to climate change. We're extremely biodiverse. Most of our territory is covered by the Amazon rainforest. The Amazon rainforest is extremely fragile. It's extremely interdependent, and so any change in any aspect of that environment affects the entire ecosystem. So we have to begin to recognize that we aren't separate from nature. We depend on nature, and it's the butterfly effect. I mean, a change in the Amazon rainforest in one part of the country at a very basic level, change in precipitation, change in temperature levels, change in droughts, etc., can have drastic impacts on other parts of the world.
Yes, my name is Yeb Sanyo, and I'm the former chief negotiator of the Philippines. I'm now leader of the People's Pilgrimage. This action demonstrates that despite the fact that we have been excluded, our voices and a lot of our issues and things that we care about have not been included in this draft text. next, we will continue our journey. We will continue standing up for what is right. And beyond Paris, all of us will be going back to our communities, building resilient communities who can stand up, produce food on our own, and build renewables, clean energy in our communities. And we will just do what needs to be done because we are tired of waiting for world leaders to act on the climate crisis.
Former Chief Philippines Climate Negotiator Yeb Sanyo speaking at a protest against the draft agreement inside COP21 last night, along with hundreds of others. Yeb Sanyo walked more than 900 miles from Rome to COP21 in Paris to call for climate justice. Special thanks to Democracy Now!'s Sam Alcoff, John Hamilton, Juan Carlos Davila, Carla Wills, and Amy Littlefield for that report. When we come back, we'll be joined by some of the people at that protest and more. Stay with us. We're live from Paris, France, at COP21, the UN Climate Summit. Back in a minute. Hi, I'm Amy Goodman. I want to thank you for tuning in to Democracy Now! We are so grateful to our fans and followers for being a part of the daily conversation. By choosing a news source that's committed to the truth, you're carrying the message of independent media, reaching hundreds of thousands of people every day. In these times of war and elections, we need a media not sponsored by corporations that profit from war, but a media that's truly independent, funded by you. Democracy Now! Is not paid for by the weapons manufacturers, the insurance industry, or the oil, gas, coal, or nuclear companies. We don't take advertising or corporate underwriting dollars. That means we rely on your donations to make our daily independent news hour possible. We need your support today to keep bringing you the hard-hitting, in-depth reporting you've come to expect 5 days a week. Visit democracynow.org, or you can call 888-999-3877. That's 888-999-3877 to make your holiday gift to Democracy Now! Today. Thanks so much for sharing Democracy Now! Stories all year long.